What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another video, guys. Uh, this one we're gonna get into it. I don't really like to get into like people's lives and stuff like that. I don't like to talk about backstories or nothing like that because we don't always know the details, right? I don't like to get into gossip, none of that. But today I'm gonna make an exception because this one kind of personally closely hit home. As you guys heard or may have not heard, there's a warrant out for Demarcus Cousins' arrest. So pretty much his career is over, and it's a shame that it came to that. But I want to break it down to you guys from both sides. Now, if you guys don't know, Demarcus Cousins' backstory, I'm gonna go ahead and give you his side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give you the wife's point of view, why I believe they're both wrong, and then it's unfortunate that the outcome that I believe is going to happen is just unfortunate. You know, you never like to see stuff like this happening in today's society, especially not with any Laker players or pretty much anybody. But pretty much, okay, so let's kick it off with a couple of days ago. Demarcus Cousins, matter of fact, let's start further back. Demarcus Cousins got injured again this summer. He's going to be out for the season. So it already started really negatively, man. It's unfortunate, but it feels like every time the Lakers pick somebody up, they come with a lot of baggage. I mean, this has happened in the past with guys we've picked up. But so we picked this man up, and he got injured. That's not his fault. Accidents happen. Okay. Next thing you know, he gets married a couple of days ago. So, everybody was happy for him. Congratulations, all this and that. It was his second marriage, I believe. There was a video that surfaced. Seems like somebody in TMZ got their hands on a video, or was it audio? I think maybe it was audio, where the mom went ahead and recorded their conversation. Why she would do that, first and foremost, already gives me bad feelings about her. But again, DeMarcus messed up, man. He said something he shouldn't have said. Now, I understand he wanted his son to attend the wedding, but you never say that. So pretty much, DeMarcus Cousins said, "You're going to let my son come to my wedding?" And she said no. He begged for it. He said, "Please." She said no. Now, here's my thing. For mothers and fathers out there, we should never use our kids against our exes, man, especially when you have to co-parent. It's not right. The only person that loses in this situation, or the main person that loses in this situation is the child. So right off the bat, I think it was messed up that she recorded the conversation and kind of knew how to push his buttons. Now, we all know DeMarcus Cousins is a hothead. We know that. And that's where he messed up, because the whole league has been telling him for years he has to learn how to keep his cool. Now, these aren't just lessons that coaches and people try to teach you on the court, but you could also apply this to real life. You got to know how to be calm and collective in these situations. Well, he messed up, man. He said something really abusive, something really bad. You never say this, especially not to the mother of your child. Whether you're with her or not, you're supposed to treat her like a queen, period, fellas. So let that be an example for everybody out there. Whether you're with her or not, you always treat her like a queen, because at the end of the day, she's a lady. You got to know how to treat ladies. And I understand that a lot of these females don't act like ladies at times, and sometimes they go over the line. And all this and that, she crossed the line by recording him and not letting his son come to the wedding, and he crossed the line by telling her that he was going to put a bullet in her head. Now, here's where it gets serious. All right, there was an investigation upon the release of the video. There was an investigation on DeMarcus Cousins for what she claims physical abuse. Now, I don't know. I can't comment on that. I don't know if that's true. My only question is, and this is the part I thought it was shady, why did we have to wait, right, for DeMarcus Cousins to get married, right, if you're the ex-wife, to pretty much unleash all this information? We never heard anything about abuse coming from that side. So it could just be that she was trying to get back at him for getting married. She never got over him. A lot of females are shady like that. Now, there's some that aren't. Maybe she is a victim. I don't know. I can't comment on that. If she is, well, then he's going to get what he deserves, because he's about to go to jail. And I believe the Lakers are going to drop him, because the Lakers don't need this type of drama around the locker. So it's unfortunate for his career. I think it's over. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know too many situations where somebody gives an opportunity to somebody with that kind of injury history plus domestic abuse. yeah, physical abuse in a relationship. So it's tough, man. I see it from both points of views. Look, he should have never stepped out of pocket and said that he was going to put a bullet in her head. That is verbal abuse, no matter how you chop it up, fellas. I know it's not the popular thing for me to say amongst the fellas, but you should never treat a lady like that. Period. Even if she is, you know what, if she don't act like a lady, let karma take care of her. Don't get involved. And as far as her, she should have never recorded the conversation or pushed buttons. So to me, man, I feel really bad. Man, because simply the child is going to suffer in all this. He's probably not going to have his dad in his life very often unless they're able to hash this out. He didn't get to go to his pop's wedding. I think it's really messed up, So let this be a lesson for everybody involved. But anyways, now what are the Lakers going to do about this? I think they waive him, and I think they'll pick up somebody else. Will it be Iguodala? Unfortunately, as my boy Kevin King said, he's been hearing rumors that the Clippers might be favorites to land Iguodala. Now, that these just could be rumors, but it is what it is. If he goes there, he's not going to win a championship. His loss. If he comes here, then we're really geared for the finals. He's pretty much the missing piece. A defensive wing that can handle the ball and pretty much play the Lamar Odom role. He can start or come off the bench, whatever we need. So that would be great, right? That would be amazing. But I'm not going to – look, we still have a good team. Obviously, we just added Dwight Howard. Yeah, we have some drama going on right now, but there's plenty of free agents out there if we have an open slot. I still like Kenneth Faried, believe it or not. There's plenty of guys out there. Anyways, what do you guys think of this whole Demarcus Cousins drama? Who do you guys feel bad for? I mean, you guys feel bad for the ex-wife or Demarcus or the child like me? Personally, I think the victim is the child in all of this. But, it's unfortunate because his career, just like that, it's over just like that. I really do not foresee anybody giving Demarcus another chance. I see some people say they feel bad for the kid. I feel bad for Cousins. Boogie is hexed. Man, he really had a horrible summer. He really just had a horrible, horrible summer. I mean, think about it, man. He was coming back. It looks like he was going to be healthy. He was looking good in the gym. He was playing some rec league games. He was looking good. And all of a sudden, boom, just like that, injures himself, gets married. His son can't come to the wedding. And then he messed up and made a threat he shouldn't have made. Now he's going to jail. That's tough, I feel bad for his son. We should try for Iggy. Yeah, I'm sure the Lakers are going to try for Iguodala. I mean, if Iguodala's smart, he wants to win the championship, he'll come here. It's crazy. I feel the kids are always being done wrong in these situations. Cousins should know better, though. Absolutely. And that's why I'm saying I'm not siding with either the mom or Cousins. I don't know all the details. So you can never really play the blame game as a third-person view. I stay in my lane. I don't know. I'm just basically reporting based on what I heard. But, yeah, you should never say something like that to anybody. That's verbal abuse. Whether he got physical with her or not, I just think it's shady that she's just reporting it now. Like, it really took, till his second wedding for this to come out to the light. And the fact that she was recording before the call even came through, that to me is really, really shady. So, some females are really messed up. And some are, ladies that we should treat like queens. But regardless, you should always be respectful, man. You got to be careful. Again, let this be a lesson to men. You should never get out of pocket and talk to a lady in a crazy way. If it gets really bad, then you just step away. There's always another way to fix things, So you're right, Dan. The kid is the ultimate victim. It is. It's just sad. Look, I won't say who, but I've had close people, relatives close to me that have went through a similar situation where a girl lied, and ended up getting a restraining order on the father of the child. The child couldn't see him. And, I was there comforting him while he was in tears. This has happened to somebody close to me. So I know it from this side of the spectrum. I've never been on the other side of the spectrum where somebody in my family got beat or myself or nothing like that. But whatever the case, the children suffer because they don't have both parents, man. I myself grew up with just my mom. So I never even met my dad. So I know exactly how that goes. I mean, everywhere you go, you see other kids with just one parent. I'm sorry, other kids with both parents, and you're over here with just one parent. You always wonder what could have been, and that's a thought in your mind that's never going to go away, period. So, I mean, hopefully parents think about stuff like that. And also, you got to make sure that the person you're having kids with is the right one, because if you start seeing a bunch of red flags everywhere, man, you see this is the type of stuff that happens. So what happened is that Demarcus Cousins is there's a warrant out for his arrest. His basketball career is probably over, and it's unfortunate. That's what happened. Let it be a lesson to everybody. Be careful how you talk to people, and every action has a reaction. There's always consequences for everything. All he did was he called up his wife, his ex-wife, and asked if his kid could show up, and she said no. So he said, "I'm gonna put a bullet in your head." Now, I don't know Demarcus personally. One thing I do know is that he's a hothead, and if you guys have any hotheads in your family, you know that they talk a lot, right? So that's my theory is, he was talking out of his backside, and it ended up biting him in the backside, and that's what happens sometimes. But we do live in a cell phone era. We live in the everybody's a private investigator era. Everybody wants to be TMZ. So you got to be careful, man. You got to be extremely careful with what you say, what you do. It could be recorded. You could be put on blast, man. You have to be extremely careful with the way you conduct yourself. Of course, naturally, being a gentleman, you should always just conduct yourself the proper way, period, He said he can't play because he got jail time. Nah, I think nobody's going to give him a shot, period, man. I don't think anybody, even after he recovers from his injury, I mean, people already were struggling to offer him a contract just because of his bad attitude, which is, his stigma. Is something that stuck with him his whole career since he came out of college. I remember. So at the end of the day, this only going to continue to add to that resume, and I don't think he can, bounce back from this. So that's the sad part, man. He said, "Hey, Dan, praise for Boogie. He's fighting injury, and now this. God always makes a way." Now, I will say this. If he was abusive in his relationship, then he's going to get everything he deserved. However, if his wife is making stuff up, or his ex-wife because she's jealous he just got married, karma will come back to get her, man. God has a plan for everybody. He said, "You're going to act like a man. I'm going to treat you like a man." Nah, man, we got to respect females and make sure that we treat them like ladies. Even when they get out of pocket, it happens in every relationship. People get out of pocket, but you have to always find a solution. It's better to walk away. Better to walk away. If it ain't working out, then just break up. But never hit a person, because that's just going to land you, it's going to bring some physical trauma to both parties, and it's going to land you in jail 9 times out of 10. Plus, you should never hit a girl, man, period. Do you think he could play this season? No, I think his career is over, man. I really do. And it's sad. He said, "Dan, some of these women." Yeah, but we can't treat them all, because of some, you can't treat them all the same way. You got to give a woman the benefit of the doubt and treat her like a lady, period. Hey, what up, T? How you doing? He said, "Got a bigger person." He said, "Boogie went from max deal to out of the league." And again, let it be a lesson to everybody, man, that every action has a reaction. You can't react a certain way in certain situations. You got to take a step back. Think about your decisions before you make them. Don't just act. He said, "Some of these women ain't ladies." Well, you got to be the bigger person and step away if that's the case. If they're going to act up, then you just got to be the bigger person and walk away from a bad situation. I mean, God gave you legs for a reason, right? So you can walk away from bad situations. He didn't give you legs just to sit there and throw punches. Let's keep it 100. But I understand that in some situations, girls tend to hold, hit, whatever. I mean, you could always push them off with you. I mean, come on. We're men. We have God-given strength for a reason. Dan, a lot of NBA players have low standards. That's why some of them always having issues when it comes to women. Again, man, you got to treat others how you expect to be treated. If you treat them like crap, they're going to treat you like crap. Sometimes it doesn't always work like that. You could be a gentleman and they still treat you like crap, but those are the situations you got to get out of. What did I say, Dan? That Boogie should retire. You were right, man. He should retire. If this is what's going to happen, definitely. He said McGee defensively is greater than Dwight. Now that's another conversation to have right there for a different day. But if Dwight Howard, look, I've been hearing reports that Dwight is going to compete for the starting spot. You wouldn't want to have it any other way, because you don't want JaVale McGee to relax. You want him to play it at his absolute best. And there's no other way to play it at your absolute best. And when there's competition right behind your slot, right? So at the end of the day, whoever starts has to earn it. But I've been saying this about Dwight. He comes in, he has to come in with a chip on his shoulder. Now, he passed the first test. The first test was Shaq mentioning him in the Kobe Shaq recent beef. That really wasn't a beef. But at the end of the day, I'll tell you this. Dwight passed the first test. He didn't reply to that. Perfect. That's what he's starting to show me a little bit of growth right there. I'll give him props for that. Now, he needs to show me the same thing on the court. You know, he needs to focus and just bring his A game. Dan, do you have kids? Not just yet, Jason, but I do have family members that have been through some stuff with kids where, you know, significant other lied on them and put a restraining order on them, and it wasn't nice. You know, people lie all the time, unfortunately, and the kids are the ones that pay the price. He said, "What up, TD?" He said, "What's going on with Demarcus? I've been buying supplies for this hurricane." Hey, brother. Hey, prayers up, man. Wherever you guys are, prayers up to you guys, man. Seriously, stay safe out there. What's going on with Demarcus is there's a warrant out for his arrest for domestic violence, unfortunately. So innocent until proven guilty. I'm not judging the man. I'm just saying he messed up by verbally abusing over the phone, and that's why he got caught up. But we'll see what comes out of this. He said, Dan, you see Lonzo's new track saying LA is going to regret trading him? Sure. But I'm going to tell you, like I told somebody on my Twitter timeline, man, he's just hurt. He got traded. Him and Josh Hart have been doing the most. You know, this is the first time I heard from Lonzo. Brandon Ingram doesn't seem very happy either. But if you go from LA to play for New Orleans, who, you know, they don't have a history of competing for anything other than lottery picks, then you should be upset. And that's okay. That should fuel you and make you better. I have nothing against him. He didn't really say anything negative. He just said we're going to regret trading him. We'll see. We'll see, you know, to be determined. He needs to up that free throw shooting percentage first and foremost if he truly wants to make us regret trading him. That's the first step. And then it goes up from there. Zoe and Zion is going to be scary good in time. I agree with that. I think they're both going to be good. But let's see how good he can get. Lonzo's too busy rapping and working on his game. LA ain't worried about Lonzo. I mean, we ain't worried about him because we got a superstar right now. But a couple years down the line, we'll see if he makes us pay for it. That could be possible. You saw D'Angelo Russell made us pay for it, right? That's a trade that a lot of people regret. But at the end of the day, it worked out for the best because we got the cap space. Now we have the two superstars, and we still have Kyle Kuzma and a bunch of good role players. So, you know, regret is a strong word. He said, nobody's going to be able to score on us, Dan. We'll see, man. On paper, we look good, but we have to put the product together on the court and make sure that we execute consistently. That's the key right there. Hey, Dan, Shaq gave Dwight some positive advice. Any thoughts? That's good, man. That's good on Shaq. I know Shaq doesn't like Dwight. Personally, me, I never really liked Dwight like that either. The only time I kind of liked him was when we got him that 1 year from Orlando. But then when I saw he wasn't giving us his all, then I can see why Shaq has given him tough love, though. Shaq is kind of a bully, but he likes to mess around a lot. If I'm Dwight, I just keep my head down and keep working. I don't respond to any of this stuff and just show out in the court. That's what he needs to do because he's not far from Demarcus as far as he's on his last straw. Meaning if he messes this opportunity out, nobody else is going to give him a chance, I doubt. Did you hear how the media is trying? What? I'm sorry, I can't make out that word. Is it Kobe was a horrible teammate to Dwight? Can you blame him for not giving your all plus LA fans turn on him fast? When was Kobe a horrible teammate to Dwight? Kobe gave his Achilles for Dwight, man. Dwight couldn't even play his hardest with a back spasms when Kobe was out here shooting free throws with his Achilles. Bro, I don't know what team you were watching, but it wasn't the Lakers. Kobe was not a horrible teammate to Dwight. Shaq is low-key trying to motivate Dwight. I don't think so. I think Shaq just gets annoyed with all the Dwight Howard questions. I mean, what do you expect, man? Dwight Howard stepped out of pocket with the whole Superman thing. He disrespected an OG. We know Superman is Shaq, even though it's childish. We're talking about superheroes here. But come on now. You can't try to steal somebody's mantra and then expect them to like you. It doesn't work that way. And then you can't be sensitive about it. If you're gonna shoot your shot, then you gotta make sure you live with the consequence. Dan, do you think that we're weak at the center position because we only have two centers? No, man, absolutely not. We have two centers, but we have a couple of other bigs that we can rotate in there. Now, remember, we could also go small ball at times, but we'll see. If we need to get another big, then they shouldn't have a problem recruiting one. He said, "What? So it's okay, according to you, to verbally abuse and bully a guy just because you're a woman when you have heard a guy report a woman for verbal abuse? Like, really? I'll say it like this: is treat B like a B." But I'm not sure what you're trying to say, bro. First of all, I didn't see any periods in your sentence, so I don't know where to stop. That's number one. So make sure you punctuate it properly. That way I can read it right. But if you're I think you're siding with the Demarcus, and the reason I wouldn't do that is because we don't know the situation, man. To be honest, we just hear what the media tells us. I'm not siding with anybody but the child. He's the only victim in this. Both of the parents need to get their act together, and they need to be the proper parents to that child. That's all I got to say about that. Now, do I feel bad for Demarcus because of the summer he's had? Sure, I do. But right now, he's innocent until proven guilty. I'm not saying he's guilty. All I'm saying is he messed up, man. We live in that era where everybody records you. You shouldn't have said what you said. Now, I know he's a hothead, but this is the reason people have been trying to get in his head and try to get him to grow up as a man and control his actions a little bit better. Maybe that could have helped him in this situation. That's all I'm saying. I'm not taking sides with nobody. So, I mean, you shouldn't get offended. Now, I wouldn't say he dissed the Lakers. He kind of talked himself up a little bit. So why do you have Demarcus Cousins' career over in the title, Dan? Because I feel like nobody – think about this. I'm not being biased. I'm a Lakers fan, and I was rooting for Demarcus. I even have him in one of my tracks. If you don't believe me, go check that out. But the reason I say his career is over, because, look, even before all this happened this summer, nobody wanted to give him a contract. He had to settle for a contract with us because Rondo and Anthony Davis recruited him. If not, we probably would not have recruited him either. Everybody knows he's had anger issues on the court. Nobody knew about off the court till recently, but everybody knew he had anger issues on the court. People believed he could be a locker room bad influence with his poor attitude, even though I don't see it. But this is just based on what the media portrays. And then his injury history continues to compound now. All that plus this domestic violence dispute is just a distraction in the eyes of many GMs. So I'm keeping it 100 with you. I'm saying why I believe that nobody else will give him a shot. Now, I hope he's able to bounce back from this. I'm not cheering against the guy. Don't get it twisted. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of negativity on his resume now, to the point where I've seen in the history. Look what happened with Gilbert Arenas and his gun violence thing. Once they cut him, nobody else picked him up. So hey, what's up, chillin' dog? Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. He said a lot of people want to Noah over Howard, but the concern with Noah is that he had Thibodeau miles in him. That's a good concern, but I'm over that already because we got Dwight now, so we're going to rock with him. Laker Nation has moved on from Cousins weeks ago. Let's stay focused. I'm just reporting on the situation because I felt bad. Like I said, this whole thing hits close to home. I've seen this from the first person, and I could tell you that the children are the biggest victims in all this. That's all. Wanted to give my opinions on that, but yeah, basically we were talking about Demarcus's career and why we believe it could be coming to a close here. Well, you need to include a question mark in your title. Then, man, come on. You need that question mark. Not really, because I don't believe it's a question mark. I would have put a question mark if I believed it was a question mark. I believe I'm stating nothing but facts, and I think there's not a team that's going to give Demarcus a shot after this. Now, you can come back to this video and quote me on that if I'm wrong. Sure. But right now, I don't believe I'm wrong. He said, nice slide plug of your music. It's not a plug, man. It's a fact. But thanks, Jason. He said, Dan, I hope the Clippers get bounced in the first round. I think the Warriors will do it or Denver. I think so, too, man. I hope the Clippers don't make the playoffs. I hope they're a lottery team. And then, Kawhi Leonard realizes that he picked the wrong team. I mean, that would be a Cinderella story till the very end, capped off with us winning the championship, of course. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, you can come at me if you think I'm creating fake news. This is my thoughts. This channel is based off of my thoughts and your guys' thoughts. My thoughts are that Demarcus Cousins is not going to return to the NBA. Now, let me ask the rest of you guys this, because I see a guy here having a problem with the title of my video. Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys believe Demarcus Cousins will have a shot with another NBA team? Be honest. If you guys believe he's going to have another shot with an NBA team after this, press yes. If not, then hit no. I'm curious. Type that in now. I see one no. I see another no. I mean, no. No. I see one yes. Okay. So I mean, based off of all this, and you guys agree that Demarcus Cousins probably won't have a shot at another team, and that's just us, the fans. Now imagine what front offices. Now remember, you know, I grew up in the ghetto, man. I'm not that sensitive. Personally, me, I would give Demarcus another shot, but I'm basing this off of, a bunch of people in the front offices that always overreact to the smallest things. So, think about that. Like, if I'm reacting like this, and I grew up in the ghetto, and I'm used to seeing stuff like this, and it doesn't really impact me in a sense that I wouldn't give him another shot. But I'm telling you that I don't think he's going to get another shot. It's for a reason, man. It's because, look, I mean, even in the NFL, look what happened to Kaepernick just for kneeling. People always overreact, especially people with power. And so it's like a job interview, right? If you go to a job interview and they ask you if you've been involved in domestic violence, would they hire you? Probably not. So I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100, man. I think this is it. And I feel for him because I still think he had a lot to give had he stayed healthy. So I'm not rooting against the guy. Yeah, Ray Rice is another great example. Perfect. I think as long as AD is there, he'll push for him. I doubt it, man. I don't even think AD or LeBron could do anything. Look at Carmelo. Carmelo hasn't done anything. He's still not on a roster. Now I'm with the whole innocent until proven guilty. I'm with that whole thing. I'm not saying he's guilty, man. I'm not rooting against the guy. All I'm saying is, this is what I feel. I feel like this is it for him. That's why the title is as is, and I wouldn't change it. Now, if you disagree with me, then feel free to make your own channel and put your own titles on it. But I'm keeping it 100 with you guys, fam. I'm telling you, I think this is it. Demarcus Cousins is out. Now, if you guys want to talk Lakers basketball, we could go there too. But I mean, I think this really involves the Lakers because this is a choice they're about to make. And I think for reals, I think they're about to cut him. So it is breaking news to me. It's breaking news because I didn't expect it to altercate to this, situation. I didn't ever think they were going to call the cops on him and stuff like that, He said Lakers saving Cousins. I mean, yeah, we ain't Captain Save, but you know what? So I doubt it, man. You don't need to explain yourself, Dan. You're entitled to your opinion. Thank you. But I just wanted to, let this gentleman know why I believe that I'm not wrong because he thinks I'm wrong. Like he's really been coming at me, but that's cool. He said, yes, you can walk away, but not when they set you up. That's bull, not fair at all. You can treat a B like a queen. Get real. Saying it and living it is a whole different world, bro. Well, I understand where you're coming from. Look, I know you've probably been through some stuff and all that. I'm not judging you, man. I'm just telling you what you should do. I mean, my mama taught me how to treat a woman. I'm just telling you, period. No matter how the woman reacts, you don't put your hands on her. You don't go out there and punch her and stuff like that. Now, I get that there's situations where the woman will hit you and it's self-defense and you just push her away or you hold her down or you move her to the side and then they claim you hit them. I understand. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking sides. All I'm saying is just look, these are the consequences for those type of actions. If you want to treat the B like the B, then, this is what's going to happen. You're going to end up in jail, man. So there's no judgments coming from my side. All I'm saying is the way DeMarcus should have handled the situation was different. And now, he's put himself in a worse situation. Now he's going to go to jail. I mean, nobody wants that. Nobody, period. But always treat a woman with respect. And as soon as she disrespects you, she don't deserve you, man. Walk out of her life, period. There's no need I mean, do you need to stay in her life? Is that a necessity? You're going to treat a B like a B because you need to stay in her life. And that means that you're not man enough to walk out of there, man. You got to walk out. He said, listen, go hit a man if a woman makes you that mad. Don't hit nobody. Punch a wall. I've done it before. I've hit a wall. So, people can make you angry, but you don't need to take it out on people. He said, to be honest, this is the perfect excuse for us to cut him while he's dealing with his personal issues. Yo, that's the same thing I thought. I thought the same thing. I was like, yo, the Lakers are going to use this as a perfect situation to just cut the man. It's unfortunate, but, Dan, when I see that title and I read the actual story, it looks like y'all are jumping on another dude's misfortune and difficult times? Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but not at all. This is a Lakers channel. If it relates to the Lakers, I'm gonna touch on the subject, man. That's pretty much it. But I mean, look, we live in a sensitive situation. We live in a sensitive time where anything you say can get misconstrued. So I didn't want that to happen. That's the only reason I'm explaining it to you. Dan, did you get to watch MJ play? I did not. I was too young. I probably saw him his Washington Wizard days when I was younger. But yeah, no. He may get another shot because the NBA has a shortage of big men. I doubt it, man. I hope so, but I truly doubt it. I think this is it for Demarcus. Now, remember, even before the Lakers gave out this contract, there was worries. There was word around the circles in the NBA that there was no way that he was going to get a contract, period, He said, you can take out your aggression on a woman through sex. I do it all the time. Oh, man. Joshua, bro. Too much information, my brother. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. There's many other ways to take out your aggression. Look, if you're upset, you're having a bad day, hit the gym, man. That's a perfect place. You can punch the bag a little bit. Go out and play basketball. I love playing basketball. When I'm in distress, basketball takes my mind off of things. By the way, shout out to my squad for winning the last 2 games in a row through injuries and everything. We're doing our thing now in our league, so that's been pretty fun. But yeah, man, if you're mad, there's so many other ways to take out your aggression. Look, man, I'm not a therapist. I don't know everybody's situation. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do. But all I will say is that it's not the way. There's consequences to everything, man. And karma's going to come back and get you. If you take out your anger on people, then somebody else is going to take out their anger on you. It's only right. Dan, do you think Shaq could be the GOAT if he had Kobe's mentality? Now, that's a good question. I saw the interview. Kobe always keeps it 100. He believes truly in his heart that they could have won the championship many more times had Shaq not been so lazy. But I think Shaq, for his body type and what he did and his personality, he was very goofy, except he showed up when it was time to show up. I think that's as good as he was going to be, man. I don't think there's much more improvement he could have made to his game. I could be wrong. Free throws could have improved and stuff like that. But, man, this guy was probably the most dominant player we ever seen, the most dominant ever. So, I mean, how much more improvement can Shaq make? And in that sense, I got to side with Shaq. However, could he have practiced a little bit more and showed more work ethic? Sure. But not everybody's a basketball psycho like Kobe. Kobe was a G, man. Kobe lived, breathed, and basically everything basketball. So there's not a lot of people like Kobe Bryant. And I understand that. That's what made him such a GOAT, is that he always held people to his standards. So, that's pretty much all. I said we got some Clipper fans in the house. Let me block them real quick. Hold up. There you go. He said Cousins going to get injured playing basketball in prison. Oh, man, let's not make fun of somebody else's misfortune, He said Kobe and Shaq should have never broken up, and we would have broken Boston's record. I truly wholeheartedly believe that. 110%. I believe that. If Kobe and Shaq never had the little altercation they had, they would have been on top of the basketball world right now. I believe that. They probably would have ended up with 7 to 8 championships. How many championships? Let me ask you guys this in the comment section. How many championships do you guys believe that an egoless Kobe and Shaq would have, if they would have coexisted for more years, how many would they have won? Type in your answer. I believe 7. I think they would have ended up with 7. I think, I truly do. Now, Shaq still had like 3 years good to play in his prime. After that, and then he was a journeyman. But I think if he would have stayed on Kobe's team, I think it would have been less pressure on him, and he could have preserved his body a little longer as well. Same thing with Shaq. I say 7. Some people say 5 together, 6, 5. Yeah, that's fair. 9 seems a little high, 9 to 10, but I mean, that would have been great. That would have been amazing. That's all I'm going to say. But that's still, in my opinion, till today, that's the greatest 1-2 punch we've ever seen. Well, that I've ever seen. I never got to see Jordan and Pippen, but somebody that's a little bit older, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Kobe and Shaq were better than Jordan and Pippen. Now, go ahead and correct me in the comment section if you guys think I'm wrong. If you guys think Jordan and Pippen were better because they won more championships, and I respect it. But other than Jordan and Pippen, I don't see any other duos that did what Shaq and Kobe did, man. I really don't. They three-peated. You guys know how hard that is to do? And not just that, but they were so dominant while doing it. And Kobe still wasn't in his prime. Now, my question is, would Kobe have reached his prime on Shaq's team as ball dominant as Shaq wanted to be? I don't know. Maybe it was a good thing for Kobe's career that Shaq left because he was able to find himself as an alpha on the team. But those were some crazy, crazy great years for Laker fans, man. And as well as the Kobe Gasol, Trevor Ariza days. I'll never forget it. He said Magic and Kareem were good too. Absolutely. I forget about Magic and Kareem. But as a 1-2 punch, I still take Kobe and Shaq. I really do. MJ was the best player, but Shaq and Kobe were both much better than Pippen. Fair. MJ three-peated twice. And that's why I'm saying, if you guys say, I didn't get to see Michael Jordan and Pippen play together live. But you guys that did, correct me if I'm wrong. And that's cool if I'm wrong. But all I'm saying is the greatest duo I ever saw play was definitely Kobe and Shaq. He said Duncan and Parker, never that. Never that. Those two players were good, but to me, they were more part of a system. They were more a part of a Greg Popovich system. I don't even think they showed their potential on that team. I really think like they played within the system where it was Ginobili. It was so many good role players on those teams that were making that team go. It wasn't just, those two guys dominating on a nightly basis. Just wait for LeBron and AD. That's why I'm excited. This is going to be the best 1-2 punch we had since Kobe and Shaq. I don't think people understand what that means. Laker Nation, we're about to have another dominant force dominating the NBA. The best 1-2 punch in the game today, I believe. I truly believe that. So I think LeBron and Anthony Davis, at least for 1 or 2 more years, are going to dominate the NBA. I truly believe it. Because I think Kobe and Shaq were the best duo. Kobe was the closer. They were amazing to watch, man. I get goosebumps just thinking about that three-peat and how emotional those runs were. And thank God there was no Twitter back then. There was a lot of beef in the locker room and stuff like that, and they were able to overcome all of that. It's great, man. But I'm ready for the next chapter, and that's coming up this season. I believe we're going to win the championship if we stay healthy. I still believe it even without Demarcus. And we'll see what happens, guys. Anyways, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, guys. It's going to wrap it up for me. Very, very good video today. I feel like we touched on some interesting topics, even some non-basketball related stuff I normally don't get into. But it was interesting for sure. Just a quick little recap for those of you guys just joining. Demarcus Cousins is about to get arrested, man. There's an arrest warrant out for him right now. So he's going to jail, unfortunately. And I think this will be the end of his basketball career. But, closing thoughts. Always think before we react, fellas. I mean, it's okay to just say stuff like, yo, if a woman acts like a B, I treat her like a B. But let's not act that way, man. That's not the right way to live our lives. There's always consequences to everything. So hopefully you guys have a great day and stay positive and treat ladies like queens, man, no matter what. And if a lady don't deserve you, just walk away. That's always the best thing to do. Anyways, guys, God bless you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'll catch you guys on the next one. If anything pops off, the Laker related, I got you guys. So keep it locked right here. Peace out.